back on the Marion General Hospital pregame show, catching up with Taylor head coach Josh Andrews before they jump back into Crossroads League play here tonight against Goshen. The Trojans 8-7 overall, 2-3 in the Crossroads League. What's it like having the 5 Crossroads League games in the first semester, and now that we are in J-term / second semester, it is all league games here for the final 2 months of the regular season?
Yeah, probably indifferent about the mix-up of the schedule. I know there's some folks who would rather all conference come after the first of the year, but you get a sense early of where your team's at. I do think that exposes you and hopefully gives you some confidence at the same time. You know, we got a couple good wins in that first 5 and able to springboard off that. But this is that time of year where you have the potential to be playing good basketball. You can still lose. So you are trying to keep level head and make slight adjustments, find a rhythm, and hopefully stay healthy. And this it's the best time of year. If you're a competitor and you like being in the fight, then this is it's the league to be in, and you're in a great spot. So we look forward to it.
6-point loss in your final non-conference game of the season, a game that was really back and forth there. What seemed to really do your team in was a over 4-minute scoring drought to close the game where Olivet Nazarene was able to pull it away. What led to those offensive struggles in the final 4 minutes of the game last Friday?
Yeah, we had a couple turnovers that were errant, really hurt us as the game was tight down the stretch. But, you know, we just missed some pretty good looks and had, for the most part, the right guys taking shots down the stretch, didn't make them. They made several tough shots when it counted, as the game was 1 or 2 possessions, and they beat us with that. We were more frustrated over some things that had happened in the first 30 minutes or so, just some casual play and a few spots that really hurt us against a great team. And we had our opportunities, but we got to tip our hats. And Olivet Nazarene made several big plays led by Schmidt, their lead guy, and they got the win.
You look at your assist numbers, your team averages over 14 per game, had just 9 against the Tigers on Friday. What did they do defensively to make it more of a one-on-one game when you guys had the ball offensively?
They never truly doubled or heavily crowded the post, and we were able to play kind of, we would say power game for the majority of that game, which typically lends itself to less assists. It's a guy kind of creating one-on-one to his spot. And obviously it worked for him. We had numerous pitch outs from ball reversals or paint touch, inside out, post entry kick out that we didn't knock down. If we make 3 or 4 more threes, the assist number goes up off that pass, and I'd say the outcome of that game is different. But that's what it is, and we want to be high in assists from ball movement and inside out play, but we're going to play and take what the defense gives us, let the defense call the play at times and what they're willing to give, and we want to shoot efficient shots within our players' arsenal, their shot arsenal. And for the most part, we're doing that. I'd like to see a little more ball movement, a little more inside out, a little more flow in how we're playing. I think we'll see that starting tonight and moving forward.
Nate Parlberg played 21 minutes off the bench against Olivet Nazarene. He's seen his minutes go up over the last couple of games. A strong lefty shooter with a big body at 6'6". At just a freshman, what's it like to see him maybe take this turn a half year in and showing some signs of what really impressed you when he was a high schooler?
Yes. He's turning the corner at the right time. So we don't have a set number of minutes that we anticipate him playing every game, but he brings a ton of energy. Has a lot of versatility, flexibility about his game. He can shoot it. He's getting his confidence. You're seeing that at the free throw line and making some threes. Chases the glass very well, can rebound out of position, and is going to become a really good defender. So I think it's a confidence game. I think it's that way for most freshmen, and we're going to see good things from Nate and from some other freshman guys. And, if we can put it together, every coach wants that right now, but just kind of have a settling about rotation and just mindset and confidence in our guys. We're real close, and we could be a really good club.
We're joined by Taylor men's basketball head coach Josh Andrews as they get ready to kickstart the second half of the 2022-2023 season tonight here against Goshen. The Maple Leafs come in just 2 wins on the year, but they played St. Xavier very tough on New Year's Eve. They bring in Elias Ramirez, who's shooting the lights out in the last couple of games. What do you do to try to slow down Ramirez specifically, who can really light it up from 3?
They're a very dangerous team. They're playing with a ton of confidence and moxie right now. They had a really good trip at their classic and playing in the Chicagoland area, and they shoot it right now with no fear. They're attacking with no fear. They got a lot of different pieces. They've got good size. They've got some speedy, skilled guards. So they are an emerging team. And, Ramirez, I don't know that we're pitching a shutout. We want to make it really tough on him. Shoots the majority of his shots from three. And they got a couple other guys that can heat up, right? Johnson's had a really nice year. Their big man's had some nice scoring games. So we've got to be very disciplined about closeouts and knowing where Ramirez is, shooters in transition. And then they run some high post entry actions in the half court that we feel like we're ready to defend, but they're going to make us play, and we've got to protect our home floor. We're taking no one for granted. We've got to play good basketball.
Welcome to the Crossroads League, right?
Exactly.
Josh, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight against Goshen.
Thank you.
At guard, the 5'11" freshman, number 30, Taylor, to right. And at guard, the 6' freshman, number 42, Goshen. The Maple Leafs are coached by Kyle Cox, assisted by Eric Brown. And now then, get on the open with tonight's starting lineup for your Taylor Trojan. At board, the 6'7" senior from Miami, Ohio, number 0, Jason Hubbard. At board, the 6'6" freshman from Franklin, Ohio, number 3, Nate Harper. At guard, the 6' sophomore from Hamilton, Ohio, number 10, Jackson Lewis. The 4, the 6'7" senior from Indianapolis, number 14, Jeff Clayton. And the guard, the 6'4" junior from Liberty Township, Ohio, number 15, Peyton Burke. The Chargers are coached by Josh Andrews, assisted by Luca, and also stand out.
So a little bit of a change to the Trojan starting lineup. Gavin Yoon had an off night last Friday against Olivet Nazarene. So the freshman Nate Parlberg makes his first collegiate start here tonight as the Trojans jump back into Crossroads League play this evening against the 2-12 Goshen Maple Leafs. They're led by first-year head coach Kyle Capps, the 2014 Goshen grad. Taylor led by 10th-year mentor Josh Andrews. We're so glad you have made us part of your Wednesday night. Clayton loses the opening tap to the 6'10 freshman Caden Johnson. And Goshen starts with the opening possession. They go from right to left in the Purple Road uniforms with the gray numbers and the gray letters. Johnson off to Elias Ramirez, this week's Goshen Athlete of the Week, and he rainbows in a long two from just inside the left side arc. Ramirez has scored 44 points in the last two games, going 7 of 13 from the floor in both. It takes a rare two-point shot here. It's a 2-0 Goshen lead. Hubbard on the other end answers with a three, and Taylor takes the lead back on their opening possession. Jason enters the game shooting just 30% from downtown. He was 0 of 2 in the loss to Olivet Nazarene on Friday, but a good start here for the Trojans in the first game of 2023. Clayton McLaughlin, a rainbow three, is no good, and a one-arm rebound is the property of the sophomore point guard Jackson Lewis. He stops and finds Clayton up top, who then swings to the right side high, and Lewis. Taylor in their new white uniforms and shorts with the purple numbers, the purple letters, and the gray trim. Lewis tried to dump it down low to Clayton. It went between the legs, and here comes Goshen the other way from right to left. Judas Mfukwe stops and goes to the high right elbow, and Caden Johnson, the 6'10 freshman, backing down the shorter Clayton. His right-hand hook shot was beautiful, except it didn't go in. A little too strong on the hook there from the big fella. And Taylor remains out front, 3-2 on the Hubbard three-point shot. McLaughlin knocked it out of Hubbard's hands as he was pulling up from the left baseline, and a swish for Caden Furman. So Taylor takes a 5-2 lead after giving up points on the opening possession. It's a Hubbard three and a mid-range two from the baseline by Furman. And the Trojans have a three-point advantage almost 2 minutes in here to the first half. Simfukwe up top, pointing where he wants Johnson to set the screen. Kimfukwe spins mid-post left and wings it far side to Ramirez. Step back, fall away long two. Furman might have blocked it. It went off the front of the rim into the hands of Taylor's Jeff Clayton. Taylor on a 5-0 spurt. They lead by 3. Hubbard, who got the scoring going, goes in, lost it out of his hand on the way up. It goes off the bottom of the backboard and back to Goshen on Taylor's second turnover tonight. Taylor comes in 8-7 overall. They're 4-5 here at home this year. Goshen is 1-8 in road games. They're coming off, the Maple Leafs are, a 91-82 setback to the Cougars of St. Xavier out of the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, the same conference that Taylor's opponent from Friday, Olivet Nazarene, competes out of. Simfukwe, the talented freshman, averaging 10 points per ball game, brings it up the floor. Far sideline, McLaughlin, off balance, heave of a 3, and perfect for Elias Ramirez. Came off the screen, didn't have his balance underneath of him, didn't care for the 43% three-point shooter, who's gone 6 of 11 each the last 2 games from deep, and he ties the game at 5. He's got all of Goshen's points here so far. Lewis off the Clayton handoff on the perimeter right. Step back, lost the dribble, couldn't let her go, and goes back to the screener Clayton. 2-hand shovel pitch free throw line Hubbard, front rim and off the glass, and it's gobbled up by Kay Johnson. Up the floor right side to Ramirez, who has all 5 of Goshen's points so far on 2 of 3 shooting. Simfukwe from straight away, left-hand bounce on the left sideline. Clayton deletes the shot as he went vertical, then brought the right hand down for the rejection. Good job by Clayton after Kim Simfukwe had the edge around Hubbard. First sub of the night for Goshen, it's Isaac Miller in for the Leafs, replacing McLaughlin. Miller, a 6'4 redshirt sophomore out of Charleston, Illinois. He transferred in after 2 years at Eastern Illinois. Kay Johnson off to Ramirez. The only score for Goshen so far, and that continues as none of his 3 baskets have hit the rim. Off the screen, and Goshen back in front by 2, 7-5 on Ramirez's left elbow extended jumper. Just over 3 minutes expired here in the opening half. Goshen playing with a lot of confidence, even though they've only won 2 games in this entire season so far out of the 14 they've played. Skipping, Hubbard, mid-range, right side, Clayton no good. Nice fight by Parlberg on the layup. His shot was no good, but Hubbard was there to clean it up. Second field goal for Hubbard. Parlberg with the attack on the baseline, cleaned up by Hubbard. He's got 5 of Taylor's 7, and the game is even. Poking away Clayton, scooped up near sideline, backcourt Hubbard. First giveaway of the night for Goshen. Hubbard skips into a dribble, got around Simfukwe as he went for the reverse layup, and they blow the play dead on the floor. First one on Goshen, and the first one on the freshman from Warsaw, Judah Simfukwe. Caden Furman exits, starting his 2nd game in a row, playing in his 4th straight after missing almost a month with a lower body injury. Gavin Yoon comes in to spell him, played just 9 first-half minutes on Friday against Olivet Nazarene and did not attempt a shot. Hubbard, double team, skipping to Clayton, whips it outside, near side arc to Yoon. 4 minutes gone here in the opening half. 7-7 our score here between Taylor and Goshen. Baseline left, feeding it back in was the driver, Jackson Lewis. Yoon, open, lefty 3, skips up, hit the rim, hit every part and went home. Looked like it might skip off the rim. It hit the front of the rim, it hit the glass, hit the rest of the rim too, and dropped for Yoon's first 3 of the night. Taylor back in front, 10-7, and a good start here for both teams. Taylor shooting 67% from the floor. Goshen is at 43%. Kay Johnson hands off to Simfukwe. Behind the arc and drives from the right hand. Near side, catch and shoot 3. Caleb Wright over everything except the opposite side of the glass as he shot it from the near side arc. Taylor leading by 3. Jackson Lewis found Yoon on a backdoor cut. Had to pick the ball behind him. Hubbard measures a 3. It's off the left side of the rim, and Ramirez is there for the rebound for Goshen. First miss of the night from 3 for the Trojans, and the first one by Hubbard. Ramirez into the air, jets it far side to Miller. Power left-hand dribble, got into Parlberg's body. He missed the shot. Parlberg tried to dive and tap it to himself, and he deflected it out of bounds. It stays here with the Maple Leafs. Subs will come in for Goshen after this timeout. We've reached the first media timeout of the night here inside Odell Arena. 14:55 remaining in the opening half. Taylor leads Goshen 10-7 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Back inside Odell Arena, our first broadcast of the 2023 calendar year. We hope you all had a fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year's as well. The Trojans without Grant Niehaus for the second game in a row. Suffered a lower body injury before coming back off of Christmas break. It's a 10-7 Taylor lead. Goshen with the ball out of the stoppage. Into Ramirez in the corner, who has all 7 of their points so far. Greg Johnson, the second, makes his first appearance of the night as he came in during the timeout and gives off to Simfukwe. Jackson Lewis has entered for the Trojans. We'll reset both lineups here at the next dead ball. Lewis, right on cue, back taps it away from Isaac Miller. So it's Elias Ramirez, Greg Johnson, to go with the big man, Caden Johnson, Judah Simfukwe, and Isaac Miller, the 5 out there for Goshen. Cade Johnson at the free throw line, goes far side. Miller, way off balance 3, kicked the leg out, but missed the 3 from the high right side. Anton Webb has come in along with Jacob Kinsey, Jackson Olam. Hubbard and Yoon remain. Driving to the rim was Webb. He got the basket to go, but the play was blown dead right before he elevated into the air. Second one on Goshen, first one on their 6'10 freshman Caden Johnson. He's coming off of a 7-point, 10-rebound performance against St. X on Saturday. Yoon and Hubbard, the only ones that remain on the floor after the stoppage. Right wing attack, Kinsey draws 2. Mid-post right, Webb skips far side to Yoon, and he steps on the far sideline. And Taylor gives it away for the 3rd time tonight. So far it has been all Elias Ramirez for Goshen. He is 3 of 4 from the floor. The rest of his teammates are 0 of 6. And it's a 3-point deficit here for Goshen. Kay Johnson, high right side. Michael Johnson, their stellar player from a year ago, has not played in some time. Long 3, Elias Ramirez, and that one hit nothing but the bottom of the cup. And all 10 Goshen points belong to 0 in purple. Ramirez, 2 of 2 from 3. He is now 14 for his last 24 from deep for the last 2 games and change. Kinsey, off-balance layup try, skipped off the rim, and it's hauled in by Caden Johnson of Goshen. The Leafs go from right to left in purple, looking for their first lead in some time. And right after a jump stop by Simfukwe, he was aided to the floor by Jackson Olam, the Taylor freshman guard. Olam, Kinsey, Webb, Yoon, and Hubbard, the Taylor 5. Ramirez, K. Johnson, as Yoon blocks the inbounds pass out of bounds. Another one teed up here for GC. Greg Johnson the second, Judah Simfukwe, Caden Johnson, and Isaac Miller to round out the Maple Leaf 5. Tied at 10 with 13:32 left to go here in the first half. K. Johnson gets it on the inbounds pass and off to Elias Ramirez. Yoon chases, a little double pump miss. Webb tapped it into his own bench. It's going to stay here with Goshen. Ramirez came off a screen, got into the air, double pump, tried to kick his leg out and draw contact with Yoon. It was unsuccessful, and he missed it off the front of the rim. Ramirez, 23 points, made 6 threes for the second game in a row. He went both 7 of 13 and 6 of 11 from 3. That's 7 of 11 from the floor. Off-balance 3 here. Front rim, long one comes out. Looked like it was going to fall in the hands of Olam, but K. Johnson snagged it away from him. Goshen retains. Yoon pokes at it, dives on the floor around Simfukwe, and then Kinsey falls on top of him. The held ball sends it back to the Trojans. Yoon very pesky there against the freshman Simfukwe. And it's the second giveaway by Goshen tonight. Taylor's turned it over 4 times, leading to 6 of the Goshen 10 points so far. Kinsey with Johnson the second on his hip. Accelerates to the front court. Webb, right side high, back to Kinsey, left side circle. Near side, Olam into the corner to Yoon. Lefty drive, stop and pop, long two, swish from the right edge. 5 for Yoon off the bench. Good to see him shooting the ball better. Did not attempt a shot in those 9 minutes he played on Saturday. He's 2 of 2 tonight. He's got 5, and Taylor back ahead by a deuce. Simfuku underneath the rim, down to K. Johnson, bangs with Webb, and then Webb deletes the shot of the man that's 2 inches taller than he. Miller behind the legs bounce, got caught on the left elbow extended by the pesky Jacob Kinsey. Ramirez with 8. He can pull from this distance if he wants. He does from almost 30 feet, and he's missed 3 straight threes in a row as that one off target to the right. Hubbard accelerating, stops into the corner, and Olam. Top of the key, Webb. He can shoot it there if he wants. Instead, deals off to Olam. Man-to-man look for Goshen, but they're keeping their eyes keen on Jason Hubbard. Foul on the floor by Isaac Miller of GC. Third one of the Leafs, and the first one by Miller. Caden Furman returns for Taylor, taking the spot of Jason Hubbard. Hubbard 5 points and assists, 2 of 4 shooting from the floor here so far this evening. Inbound near side to Yoon. Quickly in the hands of Olam. Now Kinsey left sideline. Looking Furman's way, trying to post up Miller. Skips it to Yoon. Inside the arc, baseline right. This is Webb. Head fake and drive goes right at Johnson. Got the help defender to move. He got caught underneath the rim, missed it. And then as Webb tried to bring it back to himself, he deflected it off of his shoe. Goshen from right to left in purple, trailing by a deuce. K. Johnson drives, bangs. Long, measured 2, too strong by the big fella K. Johnson. Tapped into the air and gobbled up by Taylor's Caden Furman. Near sideline to the electrifying Kinsey. Far sideline Yoon. The lefty jabs and pivots and goes on a baseline low bounce pass to Webb. Right hand back down, 2 defenders there to help. Spins the baseline. Wraps a pass to Olam from the right corner. A 3 is no good. And K. Johnson snags it away from the pesky Anton Webb. Up the floor, Simfuku. Left hand drive, bouncing, spinning on the left block. Got caught and kicks out to the near corner, and Isaac Miller. Right hand drive, spins away on Furman, did everything except get the basket. And then Webb gets called for the foul as he tried to poke it away from Goshen's guard Miller. First on Anton, second one against Taylor. 11:07 remaining in our opening half. It's a 12-10 Taylor lead. Kedrick Bibby, along with Joe Kennard in for Goshen. Elias Ramirez gets his first breather along with Caden Johnson. Webb exits for Taylor, and Hubbard comes back in. Kennard and Bibby along with Miller, Simfuku, and Johnson. Simfuku right now the only starter on the floor for Goshen. Double pump, shot no good. Johnson the second, taps it out far side to Miller. Bluffed a 3 on the right edge, got inside the arc but couldn't let the shot go. Johnson the second. Hedging and switching on the screen is Hubbard. Johnson the second, quickly gives it away. Now Simfuku into the corner, and this is Miller with 7 to shoot. Pulls up from 18 feet, no. Kinsey was there, tapped away, rebounded by Johnson the second. Euro step off of 1 foot, no good, and it's snatched down by Hubbard. Tried to save it as he was falling down into the hands of Goshen. They give it back, and it's a 1-on-2 with Hubbard. Goes right at Simfuku, big long step, dishing down weak side Yoon, who puts it in for 2. 3 for 3 start for Gavin Yoon, and the Trojans have their biggest lead of the night of 4, 14-10, as we approach the halfway point of the opening stanza. Bibby with Hubbard poking out into the Taylor man-to-man. Faking a left side high through is Miller, almost carried with it, and he's able to swing it to the far side of the floor. Simfuku now dribbles with his left hand, goes against Olam, rises, right hand floater is good for 2. Freshman versus freshman right there. The Warsaw native Simfuku got the better of Parker City, Indiana's Jackson Olam. Taylor's lead down to a deuce. High middle screen, Hubbard gets Yoon free for a moment. Down to the cutting man, it was Hubbard. Deflected out of bounds, saving away was Bibby. And now Johnson tries to spin away, keeps the dribble alive. Now Hubbard comes and swipes at it. Does not give it away to the trailing Bibby as Goshen goes from right to left in purple. Looking for the lead once again, trailing by 2. Kennard to Johnson the second, step into 3, snatched the hands back quickly and still buried it. 35% from distance is Johnson the second, and it's the third 3 of the night for Goshen. Their first scoring by someone not named Ramirez or Simfuku, and their lead is 1. 15-14 with 9:12 in counting here in our opening half. Hubbard right elbow draws a double team. Top of the key, Kinsey lets it fly. It's off the left side of the rim. Bounces to the near side of the floor and goes out of bounds. Taylor 2 of 6 from downtown. Goshen 3 of 9. The Maple Leafs just 27% overall shooting. Taylor much better at 46%. The difference right now, though, Taylor's turned it over 6 times compared to Goshen's 3. And the Maple Leafs have outscored Taylor 9-7 off the turnover. Jackson Lewis, Jeff Clayton, and Nate Parlberg back out there for TU along with Furman and Hubbard. Driving and missing the shot was Simfukwe. It was challenged nicely by the trailing defense of Caden Furman of Taylor. Lewis skips, pitching back to Furman. Transition 3, no good. But he was fouled as Kennard did not allow him to land back to the earth. And 3 free throws are upcoming for Caden Furman. Ramirez has 10 of the 15 so far for Goshen. And to the line goes Caden Furman. Playing in his 10th game of the season, missed 5 with that lower body injury. 75% is the sharpshooter on the year. First one is good with 2 more to come. That levels the game at 15. Furman 6'4", 190 pounds in his junior season. Second one good for the righty with 1 more still to come. Simfukwe exits for Goshen. And Caleb Wright back onto the floor for GC. Taylor with a 1-point lead and now 2 as Furman makes all 3 foul shots. And it's a 17-15 Taylor advantage with 8:38 remaining here in the opening half. Clayton McLaughlin back in, tried to find the cutting Bibby as he tried to snake his way away from Hubbard, was unsuccessful. It's turnover number 4 on the night for first-year head coach Kyle Capps' club of the Goshen. Taylor in white, Goshen defends in purple. Matchup of the only 2 Crossroads League teams with purple in their color scheme. Furman off a screen, high middle 3-point shot, just spins off the right side of the rim. A good look off the handoff from Hubbard. Here comes Goshen the other way with Caleb Wright, cut off by Hubbard on the left side. Dancing with it's Johnson, trying to take Parlberg to the rack. Furman poked it free, and it's going to stay here on the reach-in foul from Caden Furman of Taylor. Let's see, it goes against Parlberg, his first, and the third against the Trojans. 8:09 left to go here in half 1. Kennard to deal it in far baseline. Gets it back in a handoff, right corner. And now dribbles around the right side edge. Thought about a step back 3 before giving off to Wright, who gives off to Johnson the second. 10 to shoot here for Goshen, down by 2. McLaughlin defended by Clayton. 5 to shoot. Johnson looking for help. 4 and 3. Now Hubbard guards him. Out near the volleyball line, a heave of a 3 from Kennard is off the right side of the backboard. And as Hubbard gathered the rebound, couldn't get it before the shot clock expired. And we hit our final media timeout of the first half. With 7:46 remaining in half number 1, it's Taylor 17, Goshen 15 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
94-98, and it was a very transformational time for me and my wife that went to Taylor as well. And for us, Taylor, I kind of look at Taylor as a place you go, not to go get a job after 4 years, but it really is like a 40-year preparation of your life. And I tell my Taylor stories all the time to the point where my employees are probably sick of it. I kind of look at the basketball team and I look at Josh and I think he's the right guy, and I like to support the right guy. I think the core of what they have is really good. Josh has been developing men, and I think that's really important at a school like a Taylor, to think of it as winning basketball games and competing at a high level, but also developing people so that they can go on to the world and make things happen. I look at the student experience at Taylor right now. It's as high as it's ever been. It's off the charts. And so when I think about prospective kids and the kids that we have, I look at it and say, you can't beat a good program with a really good school.
UBS is the official sponsor of Taylor University men's basketball.
Taylor ball out of the media timeout. 7:45 and winding here in our first half of play. Taylor leading 17-15 in the back and forth first half. Clayton trying to spin on McLaughlin. Backs him down. Right-hand shot might have been blocked off the glass. And here comes Goshen the other way looking for the lead once again. No changes to either 5 on the floor. A head fake near side right. Got to the block left. Lewis cuts him off. Pivoting is right. Still looking for help. Elevates. Air ball. Weak side rebound is the property of Jeff Clayton of Taylor. Lewis skipping through the center jump circle as he keeps the dribble alive. Furman left side high around Clayton. Fires from three, and it's a swish. Five-point Taylor lead. Furman has scored Taylor's last 6. Trying to answer is Kennard. His long three from out near the volleyball line. Hit hard off the front rim. Lewis has the miss for Taylor. Right edge and Hubbard against the Goshen man-to-man. Furman, who's feeling it, thought about a three from the near side of the floor, and now deals it as the ball reverse left side Parlberg. Into the block, and Clayton looking into the paint for help, cannot find it. Then it's kicked back outside. Near side of the floor, Lewis with 10 to shoot. Hubbard hands it off back to him. Lewis trying to knife his way, turn around, fall away free throw line. Right side of the rim, no good. Bibby dives on it, was kicking at the ball as Clayton was grabbing at it, and the kicked ball keeps it here with Taylor. Gavin Yoon back in for Taylor, replacing the freshman Parlberg, who makes his first collegiate start. And the two starters, Elias Ramirez and Caden Johnson, back in for GC, replacing Kennard and Kedrick Bibby. Bibby might be checking his mouth a little bit. Might be his bottom lip as he was falling all over the floor, trying to keep the ball in Goshen's favor. And Taylor head athletic trainer Casey Ackman comes over to check on Bibby. Lewis inbound to Hubbard, hands off back to him. As that play started from the baseline right. Clayton leaves it for Eunice in a nice first half, a great first half actually, 7 points. 6 straight from Furman, he couldn't make it 9 from the left side 3. It was long, and the big man, K. Johnson, all 6'10" of him's got it. Johnson the second goes in, weaves through the entire Taylor defense, and ran through a poke attempt of Lewis and laid it off the high glass. Nice end-to-end move for Greg Johnson the second. He's got 5, and the Maple Leafs are back to within 3 with 6 remaining before recess. Left sideline, Furman, poking at it, diving on it's Furman. Now double team from the floor, able to save it off to Hubbard. Into the air, right corner Lewis, measures a 3, near side of the rim, no. And the offensive foul is on Furman as he got tangled up with his defender near the free throw line, and now some words coming between Greg Johnson the second. He was unhappy about it. Furman was the one that took him down to the floor. They called the foul, and Furman got up and walked to the other end, and then Johnson got up and was hot. Fourth one on Taylor, the first one on Furman. Our 3 officials huddle up. And it'll go down as just a common foul. Your referees tonight assigned by the Crossroads League, Jordan Beam, Nate Boudreau, and Mason Seiler. Greg Johnson the second checks out. And back in to run the point is Judah Simfukwe for Goshen. The 5 starters on the floor for the Maple Leafs as they join Wright, Johnson, McLaughlin, and Ramirez. Here's K. Johnson finding the cutting McLaughlin, got away from Hubbard, and a head fake got Hubbard to fly by, and McLaughlin softly lays it in for 2. After the Furman 3, it's been 4 in a row for Goshen, and they've trimmed their deficit down to 1 with 5:25 remaining in the first half. Furman drives, low pass Clayton through contact, and he lays it in with a soft right hand. Good feed there from Furman. Taylor's lead back up to 3 with almost 5 left to go in the first. Ramirez, who scored the first 10 points, or the first 7 points of the night for Goshen, has it here. Fall away, right side 2, off the right side of the rim. After making his first handful of shots, he's gone desperately quiet since. Hubbard, a transition 3 right side, and he rattles it home. Second triple of the night for Jason Hubbard. His first 3 in some time pushed the Taylor lead up to a game-high 6 at 25-19. K. Johnson with Clayton poking at it in the Taylor man-to-man, pivoting on that right foot. Backdoor cut, nice find to right. His shot was blocked by Lewis. And then a desperately late foul comes right as Hubbard was ready to hit the accelerator up the far side. First one on Lewis, number 5 on Taylor. It'll be a shooting foul here for Caleb Wright. Freshman decided to stay home for his collegiate basketball days. The Goshen, Indiana native, shooting 10 for 11 from the free throw line this season. And a little hop as well for the headbanded one, and his first one goes. Anton Webb in for Taylor, replacing Jeff Clayton for Taylor. And Isaac Miller returns for Goshen. He's going to give McLaughlin a breather. So Miller off the bench. And then the 4 starters of Ramirez, Johnson, Wright, and Simfukwe. Just the second missed free throw on the year for the freshman Wright. Hubbard gobbles up his second rebound of the evening. Taylor with the ball in a 5-point lead, 4:30 left to go before halftime. In and out dribbles Lewis, skips that pass somehow and found Furman, whose 3 was a hair long from the left side high. Good look there on a wonderful find from the always exciting Jackson Lewis. Right around the screen to the top in Caden Johnson. And now Miller, near side Simfukwe, around the Johnson screen. Now down the right side of the lane, Hubbard pokes, jump stops Simfukwe in trouble. Johnson had it poked away from Webb, scooped off the floor by Lewis. Finds the weak side up to Hubbard, took his eyes off of it, but Hubbard able to get it back in on the baseline for Taylor. And a double dribble called against Jason. Might have been a discontinued dribble there for Zero and White. Taylor was looking to push the issue there as they threw it up the floor. Just could not connect with one of the top 5 scorers in the country. Came in at number 5 last week. Jason putting together after career highs in pretty much every category a year ago. Career highs in this season as well. Off-ball foul against Elias Ramirez of Goshen. That's going back to Taylor. Trojans leading 25-20. Their biggest lead has been 6 tonight. Goshen's biggest lead has been just 2. Hubbard, Lewis, Webb, Yoon, and Furman. Webb and Yoon, the only 2 non-starters on the floor right now for Taylor. Left double Webb, high-low game. Oh, and Hubbard caught it in the air and laid it in. I don't know what was better, the pass or the finish. 10 for Hubbard, and the Trojan lead is a game-high 7. Dr. Lindsay's wife and all 3 of their daughters sitting in row 2 behind the Taylor bench tonight. Watching their team ahead by 7. Cade Johnson backing down the 2 inches shorter Webb. Anton doesn't care, but Cade Johnson hooks home a soft left hand. Good patient move there by the 6'10 freshman. 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Goshen back to within 5. Not if Hubbard has anything to say about it. He missed a left side 3, but falling away in the air was Furman, who back tapped it out. Yoon steps into a 3, and he cans it. After playing just 9 minutes and not attempting a shot Friday, Yoon is 4 of 4 from the floor and 2 of 2 from 3. Taylor's lead is 8. Ramirez's 3 might have been blocked, still got to the rim somehow, and Simfukwe has it in here for Goshen. Floater, right hand, nope, for Caleb Wright. Taylor with a game-high lead of 8 thanks to 10 first-half points from Yoon. He and Hubbard have almost outscored Goshen by themselves. It's Goshen 22, those 2 Trojans with 20. Lewis, a filthy step-back 3 is just short from the near side of the rim, and it's hauled in by GC. The Leafs of the near side with Simfukwe. Crossover, goes in, left-hand scoop, nicely done by Judah Simfukwe. And Taylor takes a 30-second timeout. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews not pleased with the transition defense there by his Trojans. 2:07 remaining in the first half. Taylor ahead by 6 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Taylor with the ball out of their own 30-second stoppage. Jacob Kinsey back in along with Anton Webb. Jackson Olam returns as well. Jason Hubbard and Gavin Yoon round out the Taylor 5. Little 2-3 zone here for the Maple Leafs. Baseline Webb down into Hubbard. Lost out of his hands on the way up. That's because he got fouled. Reach in on Greg Johnson, the second who just came in during the stop. His first, number 6 on GC. And 2 free throws coming for the always spectacular Jason Hubbard. Jason 13 points away from tying Casey Coons for the second most points scored all time in Taylor history. He's got 10 in the first half and now 11. So 13 to tie, 14 to move into second all by as lonesome. Came into the night about 88 points away from number 1 all time. Second one off the right side, a little home court bounce. And Hubbard's a point away from tying for second place all time with the man that recruited him to come to Taylor, and Casey Coons, the now head coach at Ohio Christian University. Hello, Casey. Isaac Miller to Kay Johnson up top as Ramirez and I the handoff by you. Now they get it to Ramirez at the volleyball line with 99 seconds separating us from the halftime break. Simfukwe fires a three. It was long on a casual shot from the near side. It bounced up off the shot clock, and it's going to go back to Taylor. That's not Simfukwe's shot now, just 3 of 13 from downtown this season. 90 seconds remaining in the opening half. Taylor leading by 8, tying their biggest lead of the night. Right edge Yoon looking Webb's way, right block. Steps out and catches with Kay Johnson defending. Faking, spinning, gets caught by the double team. Webb no look dish, turnaround Hubbard, and he's got the second most points in Taylor program history. Hubbard needed 13 to tie. He needed 14 to pass. He gets that in the first half. 64 seconds left, and Taylor's got their first double-digit lead of the night as we had a minute to go in the opening stanza. Simfukwe driving left side, got around Olam, got bumped, and his fellow freshman's going to send Simfukwe to the line. Second one on 13 and white. 5 of 8 night for Hubbard, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Now passing Mr. Silent Night, the patron saint of Silent Night, Casey Coons, for second most all-time in Taylor scoring. Coons the only man in Taylor history to break the silence all 4 years. Simfukwe gets the first free throw to go. Jason Hubbard joined that elusive, exclusive silence-breaking club this year with a free throw in the 25th annual Silent Night game. And Simfukwe makes both. Goshen back to within 8, about 22 seconds or so between game and shot clock. Kinsey operating, drives, no-look dish, right edge Webb. Wasn't ready for it, kicks out to the red-hot Yoon. That one long on an air ball from the near side. Yoon trying to say that it was tipped on the way there. It falls on deaf ears. 41 and a half seconds separates us from halftime. So 11 seconds and change between game and shot clock. So Taylor should get the ball back before half. Simfukwe gets it back from Johnson the second on the left side high. Crossing over to his left hand, down the lane he goes. Hubbard ties him up, held ball. We'll keep it here with Goshen. Good job by Hubbard to wait for Simfukwe to come right into his arms. Taylor shooting 43% from the floor. Goshen just 29% here in the first half. Off-ball moving screen foul. Taylor's going to get it back with the shot clock turned off. And that's on Greg Johnson the second, his second, and number 7 on GC. 27 and 7/10 of a second with the shot clock turned off. Taylor has turned it over one more time than Goshen, but points off the turnovers even at 9 apiece. They'll put an extra 5/10 of a second back on the clock, so Taylor gets 28.2 to get the final possession here of half one. They lead by 8. They've led by as many as 10. Kinsey all the way out near midcourt, trying to blow by Johnson the second. He's got a double screen of Webb and Hubbard up top. 10 to go before the half. Kinsey with a left-hand dribble far side. Now Webb and Hubbard break away. Kinsey drives. No-look dish, deflected out. No. Off of Kinsey's hands, and Goshen gets it back with 5 to go in the half. A good-looking play there, and then Webb cut right before Kinsey gave it to him. Johnson the second picks it up with 3. To the front court, poking at it with 2. Head fake, steps in, throws it up. No good, as he and his teammates on the Goshen bench look for a foul. That does not come. Taylor goes into the halftime break leading by 8. Congratulations to Taylor's Jason Hubbard. His 14 first-half points have moved him into second place all-time in Taylor's all-time scoring charts here for the men's basketball program. And here's the announcement before we go to break.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online.
34-26 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local... It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
'94 to '98, and it was a very transformational time for me and my wife that went to Taylor as well. And for us, Taylor, I kind of look at Taylor as a place you go, not to go get a job after 4 years, but it really is like a 40-year preparation of your life. And I tell my Taylor stories all the time, to the point where my employees are probably sick of it. I kind of look at the basketball team and I look at Josh and I think he's the right guy, and I like to support the right guy. I think the core of what they have is really good. Josh has been developing men, and I think that's really important at a school like a Taylor, to think of it as winning basketball games and competing at a high level, but also developing people so that they can go on to the world and make things happen. I look at the student experience at Taylor right now. It's as high as it's ever been. It's off the charts. And so when I think about prospective kids and the kids that we have, I look at it and say, you can't beat a good program with a really good school.
UBS is the official sponsor of Taylor University men's basketball.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Back here inside Odell Arena, it's halftime, and the Taylor Trojans lead the Maple Leafs of Goshen by a 8-point, 34-26 halftime lead. Update from Goshen, where the women's basketball team of Taylor is playing the women's basketball team of Goshen. After trailing 18-15 at the end of the first quarter,
Jody Martinez's club outscores Goshen 18-2 in the second quarter, and the Trojans have a 13-point halftime lead. 10 points from Clacy West, 6 from Ariel Dale, 6 from Ava Henson to lead the way for Taylor in women's basketball action scoring tonight. On the men's side, a little bit of history in the opening half. Jason Hubbard, the fifth-year senior, scored 14 points and moved past Casey Coons for the second most points scored all time in Taylor men's basketball history. He was 5 of 8 in the first half, 2 of 4 from 3. He also had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. 10 points off the bench for Gavin Yoon on 4 of 5 shooting. 2 of 3 from downtown. He made his first 4 shots from the field after playing just 9 minutes and not attempting a shot in Friday's loss against Olivet Nazarene. 8 points for Caden Furman, including a 3-point basket. He scored 6 straight for the Trojans at 1 point in the opening half. And 2 points for Jeff Clayton. Just 4 players scored in the opening half for Taylor. Nate Parlberg got his first collegiate start. He did not attempt a shot in 8 minutes of action. Jackson Lewis had 4 rebounds and 3 assists and only 1 turnover in 12 minutes on the floor. Jackson Olam, Jacob Kinsey, and Anton Webb all played 8 minutes off the bench for Taylor, and neither of those 3 men recorded a point. 10 points for Goshen to lead by Elias Ramirez. He scored the first 7 of the night for the Leafs, and then everybody else started to follow his lead. But 10 points on 4 of 10 shooting for the dynamic Ramirez, who comes in after 44 points scored in his last 2 games. 6 for Judas Mfukwe, 2 of 5 shooting, 5 for Greg Johnson, the second off the bench, 2 apiece for McLagan and Caden Johnson, 1 point for Caleb Wright, and playing but not scoring in the first half for Joe Kennard, Isaac Miller, and Kedrick Bibby. Taylor shot 43% from the floor, Goshen just 29%. The Maple Leafs also were just 3 of 14 from 3. Taylor was 5 of 15. Free throw shooting good from both teams. Taylor 5 of 5, and 3 of 4 were the Maple Leafs. Taylor had the edge in rebounds by 1, 19-18. Jeff Clayton, their leading rebounder, with 5. Caden Johnson, the 6'10 freshman, led Goshen with 6 first half rebounds. After having just 9 assists in the game on Friday, Taylor's got 10 so far in the first half on their 12 hoops. On the other side, Goshen has 5 assists on their 10 made baskets. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it's time for second half action from here inside Odell Arena. And at the break, it's Taylor 34 and Goshen 26 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
About to start the second half here from Odell Arena. We had 4 ties and 5 lead changes. Taylor's biggest lead was 10 towards the end of the first half. Just a 2-point lead that Goshen got twice in the opening 20 minutes. Taylor with the ball first. They go from right to left in white. They're starting 5 on the floor. Jason Hubbard, Nate Parlberg, Jackson Lewis, Jeff Clayton, and Caden Furman. We'll set the Goshen lineup. When they get the ball back, they've got their starting 5 on the floor. They're clad in purple with gray numbers and gray letters and the black trim. Taylor in the new white uniforms with the purple numbers, purple letters, and the gray trim. 10 to shoot on the slow developing second half possession. Hubbard bobbling it, gets it back with 4. Long 2, right side arc, halfway down and out. Nobody wanted to go after the rebound, and so Caleb Wright of Goshen says, I might as well. And the Leafs get their first possession. They go from left to right. It's Caleb Wright, Elias Ramirez, Clayton McLaughlin, Caden Johnson, and Judah Simfukwe. Simfukwe caught underneath the rim, tried to reverse layup, no good. It was tapped away from him and into Clayton, who's got 6 rebounds. All the way to the front court in Hubbard, who finds the trailers here for Taylor. Spun around the arc, near corner, Parlberg, lefty 3, short off the near side of the rim, and picked off the floor by McLaughlin. First shot of the night for Parlberg in his first collegiate start. Simfukwe spins. His shot dances off the rim, but he gets his own miss and lays it in as he falls to the floor. Nobody balked out Simfukwe. He spun and was able to fight the trees and lay it in for a deuce. To within 6 goes Goshen. Again, remember, they trailed by 10 late in the first half and trailed by 8 at the break. Furman trying to get to the baseline right, pulls up over Ramirez, no good. Weak side rebound is Hubbard's for Taylor, bangs against McLaughlin, shot was no good, but he got fouled, and Jason is going to go to the line for a couple of foul shots. 7 fouls in the first half for Goshen, 6 for Taylor. This one against Clayton McLaughlin, number 1 on him. Hubbard needed 14 points to get sole possession of second place on the all-time scoring charts at Taylor, and that's exactly what he did in the opening 20 minutes. Was 5 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range. And he's 3 of 3 from the line tonight with a game-high 15 points. Jason shooting 80% from the line. He's been a great free throw shooter since stepping on campus almost 5 years ago. Second free throw, swish. We hope he got as much of his mother's delicious banana bread as he raves about during the Christmas break. So 2 Hubbard free throws get us back to where we started the second half off, with Taylor in the driver's seat by 8. Ramirez against Furman in the Taylor man-to-man. Kate Johnson spins and gives off to McLaughlin. Around the screen, fires a 3 and nothing but the bottom of the cup. A 3 for Clayton McLaughlin at 32%. Cans that one in some belief coming back to the Goshen side. They've trimmed the deficit down to 5 early on here in the second half. Hubbard high right side against McLaughlin. Pitching outside to Furman. Almost lost his balance, lost the ball into assistant coach Stan Doherty's hands across from us. Taylor gives it away for the 9th time tonight. First time in the second half. As there's a very excited Goshen fan sitting in row 3 amongst the Taylor students that are here for J-turn. His team to within 5 after trailing by as many as 10 late stages of the first half. Early stages, second half here. Wright with a headband and the left-hand dribble, got to the baseline, backs it out, wrapped it in, wanted to Kate Johnson. It was poked away by Clayton and stolen by Lewis. Far side to Parlberg for Taylor, trying to build on their 5-point lead. Near edge Furman around the right side, Clayton screen, pulled up, free throw line, low pass. Clayton fumbled it near his knees and got it back. Ramirez guards Furman, and the ball reversed far side for Taylor. Baseline right, Clayton spins, goes right at Kate Johnson and lays it in with an aggressive right hand. Second hoop of the night for Jeff Clayton. Taylor's lead back to 7, 3 minutes into this second half. And a big old travel on the near side for Clayton McLaughlin. Excuse me. McLaughlin caught it and then just ran about 3 or 4 steps to the corner. So McLaughlin will exit, replaced by Isaac Miller. Taylor also goes to their bench with Gavin Yoon, who was red hot in the first half. 4 of 5 and 2 of 3 from 3 for 10 points, replacing Parlberg. So Taylor with their normal starting 5 on the floor right now. An ill-advised pass by Furman, tried to throw it through 3 different defenders, and 6'10" Caden Johnson stepped out and intercepted. Ramirez, off balance, right side, high 3, spins it off. After making his first 2 threes of the night, Ramirez has missed 5 in a row. He can get hot and he can get cold in the blink of an eye. Skipping, Hubbard throws this one into row number 3. For the cheerleading team, gives Hannah Kirby's husband a little grief for not catching that one on the fly. So 2 bad passes thrown by Taylor their last 2 times with the rock. But thanks to the Clayton basket, their lead is back to a comfortable 7 after leading by just 5. 4 minutes gone here in the second half. Simfukwe on the near side as Goshen shoots in the basket to our right. We hit 10 seconds to shoot. Spinning, Lewis knifing at it, trying to create space with a little head clearance was Caleb Wright. It was no good. Hubbard has the miss. Lewis attacks, whips one to the left block, and Clayton goes right at Caden Johnson, who gave him a big old bear hug, but they call a held ball, and it's going to go back to Goshen. Johnson got bumped into by Clayton and then looked like he hugged him around the shoulders. But got his hand on the ball for the block. The held ball sends it back to the visitors. 15:59 left to go in regulation time. Taylor's lead is 7 at 38-31. Goshen has the ball out of this media timeout here on the Trojan Sports Network.
94-98, and it was a very transformational time for me and my wife. That went to Taylor as well, and for us, Taylor, I kind of look at Taylor as a place you go, not to go get a job after 4 years, but it really is like a 40-year preparation of your life. And I tell my Taylor stories all the time to the point where my employees are probably sick of it. I kind of look at the basketball team and I look at Josh and I think he's the right guy, and I like to support the right guy. I think the core of what they have is really good. Josh has been developing men, and I think that's really important at a school like a Taylor, to think of it as winning basketball games and competing at a high level, but also developing people so that they can go on to the world and make things happen. I look at the student experience at Taylor right now. It's as high as it's ever been. It's off the charts. And so when I think about prospective kids and the kids that we have, I look at it and say, you can't beat a good program with a really good school.
UBS is the official sponsor of Taylor University men's basketball.
I'd like to thank UBS for their sponsorship and support of Taylor men's basketball. Neither team with a hot start here to the second half. Goshen 2 of 6 from the floor, Taylor just 1 of 4. Goshen with the ball out of the held ball and the possession arrow setting it their way. No changes to either 5 on the floor. Simfukwe to the top of the floor and right. Goshen in purple shoots the basket to our right, and Clayton gets caught for the reach in behind the 6'10 Caden Johnson. First on Jeff, first on Taylor here in half number 2. Caden Johnson, 6'10 freshman out of Hartford, Michigan, averaging 11 points and 7 rebounds per game. Simfukwe, off-ball cut, got Miller free on the mid-post left. Whips it back to the near side inside the arc to Kay Johnson. Trying to back down. Clayton, left-hand hook shot, was barely getting to the front of the rim. Good job by Clayton, one-on-one defensively. Furman has the miss, and he brings it to the front court for Taylor. Lewis, one-hand entry pass, right side edge, inside the arc, Hubbard. Ripping to the right baseline, falling down, gets it back, Hubbard. His defender fell down, he missed it on the right side as Miller looked to draw the charge that did not come. Wright, shot out of a cannon from left to right, stops on the right block and now reverses it back to reinforcements. Caden Johnson wide open, but Hubbard gets called for the reach after almost picking it cleanly away from Isaac Miller. Number 1 on Hubbard, number 2 on TU. Clayton came off to help and Johnson was wide open, but Goshen was unable to get it to him. Clayton and Lewis exit. Anton Webb and Jacob Kinsey make their first second half appearances for TU. Shot clock resets to 20 here for GC as Ramirez gets it into Kay Johnson. Far sideline Miller with Hubbard guarding him in the Taylor man-to-man. Wright maneuvering, bouncing outside. Simfukwe gets it back after the ball bounced off of his knees. 8 to shoot for Goshen, down 7. Simfukwe down the lane, right block, hesitates a couple different times and flips home a right hand. 10 for Simfukwe, joining Ramirez as the only 2 double-figure scores for Goshen. And the Leafs are back to within 5. Not even 6 minutes gone here in the second half. Kinsey, right block, Webb. Shaking, spinning, right-hand floater, no, off the right side. But Webb falls as Smith, gets it back. He bangs into Johnson and rolls in a right hand. The The Taylor lead back to 7. That gets some raucous ovations from the Taylor students in rows 1 and 2. First hoop for Webb, and Taylor's lead back to 7. He guards Johnson up top. Ramirez cuts off ball and lays it in nicely with a right hand as he got away from Yoon. 12 for Elias Ramirez on 5 of 12 shooting. And Goshen hanging around, still down by 5 on a good off-ball cut by 0 in purple. Furman with an off-ball cut, got to the free throw line, got into the air. Webb and now to Hubbard, who uses the right side Webb screen. Hubbard picks it up and deals off to Furman on the near sideline. Almost lost the ball as he backed away up top. Webb steps into a right side high 3, spins her off the rim. Good box out there by Goshen to keep Hubbard away from the miss. The man boxing things out was right. Now to Johnson, left block, trying to clear space against Webb. Ball got poked free. Johnson gets it back, and then Webb fouls him hard. And then he and the youngster get tangled up. Number 2 on Webb, number 3 on Taylor, and Johnson's going to the line for a pair of foul shots. He's shooting just 51% in his freshman season, but went 3 of 5 against St. Xavier last Saturday. Goshen committed 22 fouls in that loss to the Cougars. Wow, that was a loud scream and did not deter Johnson at all. Good night, that was loud. That will scare the soul right out of your body. Jackson Olam in for Taylor. Furman exits. Checking out Caleb Wright as we see Greg Johnson the second for the second time, and no scream this time, and Caden Johnson missed it. So the best he can do is bring Goshen to within 4. Those 22 fouls by Goshen led to 34 St. Xavier free throws on Saturday. Taylor with just 7 trips to the line tonight so far. Kinsey attacks from the left side, got right around his man, flipped it up. An air ball off a right hand, might have been looking for a lob, but no one was home. Here comes Goshen the other way, down by 4, the closest they've been since midway through the first half. Off-ball foul, it's against Caden Johnson as he shucked Webb away on the block. Second one on him, and number 2 against the visitors. Johnson at 6'10", looking for what the foul was. It was on him, and he gets an explanation and has a slight laugh. Olam off the Webb screen, got free on the left edge. Olam almost traveled, now bounces it in, left elbow extended to Hubbard. Steps a couple steps beyond the free throw line, baseline left Webb. Inside the arc, hasn't used a dribble, now does. Taylor spinning it around the arc, far sideline, Yoon attacking baseline right, got into the air. Olam sets his feet on the tippy toes, missing off the near side. It bounced off the rim and went up and in, but it went off the shot clock, and it's going back to Goshen. Tough break there for Olam, who continues to struggle, was now just 0 of 7 from the floor in his last game and change. Johnson checks out, and Kedrick Bibby makes his first appearance here in the second half. So a much smaller lineup on the floor right now for GC, with Bibby, their tallest man out there, or excuse me, make it Miller, the tallest man out there at 6'4". Bibby at 6'1", defended by Webb. Simfukwe around the screen. Floats it outside, able to track that one is Miller with Kinsey guarding him. Lefty drive, spinning back to his right hand. Miller, nice move and one. And an opportunity for Goshen to draw to within 1. Isaac Miller with a smooth spinning layup, got back to his dominant right hand. And the foul called against Jacob Kinsey. 4th one on the Trojans, and to the line goes Miller, who is almost automatic at 88% this season. Taylor wants some more height out there. Parlberg and Furman come in to replace Kinsey and Hubbard. Hubbard sat briefly in the first half, playing 19 of the 20 minutes. First basket of the night for Miller after missing his first 4 shots. And he completes a 3-point play. And Goshen, just like that, trails by just 1, looking for just their 3rd win of the season as they come in 2-12 overall and 0-4 in Crossroads League play. Olam, nice move, got to 2 feet. Right-hand shot was no good off the right side of the rim. Bibby has it for Goshen, and the Maple Leafs look for their first lead since early in the first half. And a travel is called on the near side by Isaac Miller. Caught the ball and then shuffled his feet before putting it on the deck. The last Goshen lead was at 7-5. Excuse me, their last lead, was 15-14 on a 3-point basket. Taylor took a 17-15 lead, and then they built the lead as big as 8. Or built it all the way up to 10 late in that first half. Their top scorer, Ramirez, checks out. And back in comes Caleb Wright. Trojans' top scorer, Hubbard, on the bench getting a breather. So what can both these teams do without their top point men on the floor right now? Olam keeps his heels off the line, but he airballs a three from the right side that might have been blocked. Goshen from left to right in purple, still trailing by 1. Down the lane goes Johnson, got to the right block, pivoting. Olam stays down and forces him to kick it out. Miller had a three-point play last time down, behind the back, free throw line jump shot for the lead, skips off. Rebounded by Webb of Taylor, his 5th carom of the night for the Trojans. Olam pitching back outside to Webb, and now off to Yoon. Was white hot in the first half. Tucks, scoops off the glass and just rolls off as Yoon misses just his 2nd shot of the night and his first one here in the second half. Jackson Lewis waiting at the scorer's table for Taylor with 11 minutes remaining in the second half. Goshen with the ball down 1. They played wonderfully here in the second half to start. Spinning his right, free throw line, Bibby, lefty jump shot, and Goshen's in front. The Taylor fans looking for a travel that does not come. Goshen has outscored Taylor 15-6 here in the second half, with 10:40 remaining in regulation time. Webb on the left block, 1-foot power, trying to overpower the smaller Bibby, and Bibby gets whistled for the foul. His first, team's 3rd. Jackson Lewis re-enters for Taylor, replacing Jackson Olam. So it's Furman, Lewis, Parlberg, Webb, and Yoon. Simfukwe, Miller, Bibby, Johnson the second, and Wright. Furman, open 3, and Taylor's got the lead back from the left side. Furman, the 3rd Trojan in double figures. Big 3 from the left side, and Taylor's lead back up to a deuce. As we approach the halfway point of the second half, backdoor cut. Simfukwe able to rip it away from Yoon. Right block, spins, hangs. Oh, it's blocked by Yoon nicely. And now the Trojans trying to build their 2-point advantage as we hit the halfway point of half 2. Lewis shields the defender behind him, and now Taylor reversing it to the near side. Yoon, Parlberg's got a mismatch, but they can't get it to him. Nifty behind the back dish, Yoon. Furman got taken down. Webb on the putback draws foul number 2 on Kedrick Bibby. Furman leaned into that one, tried to draw the shooting foul, could not. That's the second one on Bibby and the 4th on Goshen here in the second half. And Webb's going to the line for a pair of free throws. Anton has struggled from the stripe this season. His first year at Taylor, shooting just 41%. 2 points and 7 rebounds for the talented 6'8 junior out of Dayton, Ohio. First one, perfect. Hubbard back in, replacing Parlberg for Taylor. Bibby exits for Goshen. He's replaced by Caden Johnson. So it's Hubbard, Furman, Webb, Yoon, and Lewis on the floor right now. Webb, the only non-starter out there, along with Yoon for the Trojans. Webb misses the second one long, and the Trojan lead is 3. So we dip below 10 minutes remaining here in the second half. Greg Johnson, the second, operates left side high. Now to Caden Johnson. Simfukwe, along with Miller and Wright, out there for the Leafs. Cutting off ball, Simfukwe, and he lays it in with the right hand. Simfukwe has done a great job of shaking away from Taylor defenders tonight. He scored 6 of his 12 in the second half, but Webb answers with a straightaway 3. First triple of the night for Anton Webb, as Caden Johnson did not come out from inside the arc. And now Webb and Johnson chatting on the other end. Taylor's lead back to 4. Simfukwe couldn't get a backdoor cut here. Johnson left open from way outside. Sets the right side screen for Johnson. The second step back 3 ball, no. One-hand rebound, though, stays for Johnson on the Isaac Miller haul-in. And Hubbard gets called for a weak reach-in foul. Hubbard threw that arm out there, barely made contact with Miller, but it was enough to warrant the whistle. And that's number 2 on Hubbard and number 5 on Taylor with 9:09 remaining in half 2. Goshen with the ball down 4. Johnson against Yoon, reverse layup, sneaks it in away from the blocking attempt of Webb. First second half scoring for Johnson. The second, and Goshen back to within a deuce. Down 47-45, less than 9 to go in regulation. Left edge Furman dishes up top to Lewis. Far side Yoon has yet to score here in the second half. Had 10 in the first. Driving reverse layup, and there's his first second half points. Excellent move by Yoon. Drove in with the right hand, the offhand on the far baseline, and then finished with the strong left hand. 8.5 to go in this one. Taylor leading by 4. looking for their third Crossroads League win of the year. Johnson, mid-post left, backing down, puts a shoulder in the Webb. His shot was too strong, and Hubbard comes in to clean up the miss. 7th rebound of the night to go with the game-high 16 for Hubbard. Spins away from the double team. Webb bluffs a three, goes right down the lane. A little show and go, but it's a charging foul on Webb as Wright was waiting for him on the mid-post right. Number 3 on Anton Webb, 6th one on Taylor here in the second half with 8:15 remaining. As a patented move there for Webb. Good job by Wright to stay in there, and he took that one right in the teeth. Timeout on the floor for Goshen. They take a full timeout. We will take it with them. 8:15 remaining in half number 2. Goshen with the ball, but trailing by just 4 here in the second half, looking for their 3rd win of the season.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Goshen has outscored Taylor 19-15 here in the second half, even though they're still trailed by 4. The Maple Leafs have shot 8 of 17 from the field here in the second half, 47%. Taylor's just 5 of 13 in half 2 for just 38%. Goshen with the ball out of their full timeout. They go from left to right in purple. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Yoon out of the play, and now it's 5-on-4. Johnson down low, gets the foul on Furman, and 1 is now Yoon. Down on the far side of the floor. Not sure what happened. It was off the ball. And we will take a break as the sports medicine staff comes out to take a look here at Gavin Yoon.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Good news is Yoon is okay. Popped right back to his feet. He really unhappy, though, on the far side, trying to be calmed down now by, or is being calmed down now by assistant coach Stan Doherty. The Taylor coaching staff unhappy. Off-ball foul. Did not see what happened from our vantage point. Next thing we turned around, Yoon was bent over at the waist, but it looks like he's just motioning that he just got either elbowed or punched in the stomach. Greg Johnson, the second to the line to try to complete the and one. It skips off the rim and does. He's got 10 points. And the and one brings Goshen back to within 1. Parlberg back off the bench for Taylor. Clayton, Furman, Hubbard, and Lewis round out the 5. Hubbard triple teamed as the Trojan faithful look for a foul. Furman fumbled it, flipping it outside barely to Lewis. 13 to shoot, Hubbard trying to get going. Parlberg left edge with 7 to go in the second half. 8 to shoot, Far corner Lewis, wide open three, a flick of the wrist, and nothing but nylon for Lewis. Every time that Goshen gets close, the Trojans have the answer, their lead back to 4. Johnson spinning on Clayton, reaching in a foul, and Johnson going to the line for 2. Second one on Clayton, 8th one on Taylor here in the half. 1-1 anyway for the Maple Leafs, but 2 here for Johnson. Clayton not unfamiliar with defending a 6'10 human being. He was high school teammates with Ohio State starting right tackle DeJuan Jones, who was getting first-round NFL looks, who was about 6'10", 6'9", and about 350. So 6'10 is nothing new to Clayton, the high school teammates of DeJuan Jones. And Johnson, just like he did the first time, made the foul when someone shrieked in the Taylor student section, and then missed the second one when the Trojan horse was quiet. Driving, Furman, open three off the Lewis find. It's off the heel of the rim, as Furman now just 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. Goshen hard from left to right, 7 to go in this one. Right drives, jump stop, mid-post right, floats in a right hand. His first field goal of the night draws Goshen to within 1 at 52-51, their deficit. Lewis right edge in front of his bench. Taylor and White shooting on the basket to our left. Clayton out near the arc. Johnson waiting for him on the left block. Clayton has it, right hand power move, got into the paint, double team, ripping away, cleaning space. Clayton has it knocked out of his hands, and the referee, who was blocked by Johnson, says it's going back to Goshen. The official on the far side of the floor, who had a clear look at it, did not say anything. Gavin Yoon, good to see him back out there for Taylor. Anton Webb re-enters, playing with 3 personal fouls, replacing Clayton and Furman. Goshen looking for their first lead in some time. They led 41-40 earlier in this half after not leading since they were up 15-14 back in the first half. Johnson, big left-hand drop, going in, ripped out of his hands by Webb. That's a traveling violation against the big man. Webb was there to defend. Hubbard, with that 7-foot wingspan, came in to make life difficult, and it proved to be so. 12th turnover for Goshen. Taylor has given it away 14 times tonight. Taylor has made 4 more threes than Goshen, even though the Maple Leafs have made 2 more baskets. Free throws about even. 8 made free throws for Taylor, 7 for Goshen. Yoon's three-point shot was just off target. Yoon has missed both of the shots he's taken here in the second half, make it 0 for 3. Spinning, cut off there on the left side of the floor was Miller. 1-point deficit for Goshen, less than 6 to go in this one. Low pass out of the reach of Johnson at 6'10". Could not reach that one that was just on the top of his shoe tops. Back-to-back turnovers by GC, and Taylor gets it back. Micah Spat and Kedrick Bibby clapping on from the Goshen bench. We have not seen Elias Ramirez in some time. Their top scorer tonight has been on the bench for some time. Full timeout on the floor. We'll be back with more. Taylor leading by 1, 52-51 with 5:48 left to go here in the second half.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Full timeout was Goshen's. They've got 2 full timeouts and a 30 left. Taylor with 4 fulls and 1 30. Goshen's played much better here in the second half. They've outscored Taylor by 7, 25-18. And the Maple Leafs trail by 1, looking for their 3rd win of the season and their first Crossroads League victory. Taylor looking for their 9th triumph and trying to get to even 3-3 in Crossroads League play. Behind the back bounce, Parlberg picks it up on the near side. Now inside the near side arc to Hubbard. 5.5 to go. Hubbard reaches, and a reach-in foul against Isaac Miller. Mouth agape, palms to the sky, shocked and bewildered is 14 in purple. 2 on him. 5th one against Goshen here in the half, and Hubbard to the line for 2. Has scored just 2 points here in the second half, both coming from the free throw line. Does have 6 second half rebounds after having just 2 in the opening 20 minutes of action. First one hit the front rim and got the home court bounce. That pushes the Taylor lead back to 2. Parlberg exits for Taylor, Furman back in. So it's Furman, Webb, Hubbard, Yoon, and Lewis, the Trojan 5. Someone for Goshen counting the seconds away as Hubbard makes his free throw. Someone shushed him aggressively. And much like NBA fans did to Giannis Antetokounmpo a couple summers ago during the NBA playoffs, Giannis was not deterred, and neither is Jason Hubbard. Taylor with a 3-point advantage, almost 5 minutes remaining here in the second half. Johnson shuffled his feet, but no travel comes. Johnson backing down, that's Cade Johnson. His turnaround hook, no good. Webb cleans it up for his 8th rebound. Taylor trying to push the lead up to 2 possessions here as the Trojan faithful have been unhappy with tonight's officiating every way possible. Hubbard gets called for a charge as Simfukwe was waiting for him on the left block. Hubbard dribbled from the right edge, and Simfukwe set his feet and just waited for that contact to come. 3rd on Hubbard, 3 already on Webb. 4:58 remaining here in the second half. No one with more than 2 fouls for Goshen, who have the ball trailing by 3. One more foul by Taylor will put Goshen in the double bonus, by the way. Cade Johnson, left side high to right, jump stop, spins on his right foot, got into the air, goes far side, Simfukwe. Webb fronting the post, Cade Johnson gets it left baseline, spins, off balance shot off the left side of the backboard. Yoon able to save it before it went out of bounds across the baseline. Lewis at the far side for Taylor, bouncing into Hubbard on the perimeter right. Jabbing, trying to maybe get another reach-in foul on Miller, pulls the trigger and misses. Weak side rebound was in the hands of Webb, but rebounded by Johnson the second. That's G. Johnson up to Simfukwe. Left hand tried to guide Furman away. Outside to Simfukwe on the near side edge with 4:09 and counting in the second half. Down the lane, G. Johnson, awkward shot, no good as he hit the floor hard. Off the bottom of the rim, Yoon has it. Not numbers for Hubbard. He was hit once, twice, 3 times. Couldn't get the lefty lay-in to go as Miller tried to get the back tap and then said patted Hubbard on the back on his way to the rim. As if to say, good job, man. Good move. 3rd on Caden Johnson. He's the first Goshen player with 3 personal fouls. 3:58 remaining in this one. Hubbard to the line. All of his points have come here from the line in half number 2. He is 0 of 3 from the floor overall. And there's his first free throw. Misses that one, spun off the rim. So the best Hubbard can do is make it a 4-point Taylor lead, which would still push the Trojans ahead by 2 possessions with less than 4 minutes remaining here from Odell Arena. It's Kedrick Bibby, the one that is counting all the seconds away, and Hubbard connects with that one. 19 for Jason on 5 free throws, and Taylor takes their first of 4 full timeouts. 3:58 remaining in this one. Taylor leading by 4. Goshen, though, trying to pick up just their 3rd win here of the season and their first in the Crossroads League.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland, and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
.358 left to go in this one. Goshen has outscored Taylor 25-21 here in the second half. The Maple Leafs are 10 of 22 from the floor after halftime. Taylor is just 6 of 21, but the big difference is in free throw shooting. Taylor 6 of 8 from the line here in the second, 4 of 6 of the Maple Leafs. And that's where the game got really out of hand for them against St. X on Saturday for Goshen. We mentioned how St. X took 34 free throws in their win over the Maple Leafs on Saturday. Well, St. X went 19 of 20 in the second half on the way to a 91-82 win. G. Johnson second dribble to right off of Hubbard's foot, and as he did, he wrapped up Hubbard. Third one on G. Johnson the second, seventh one on Goshen, and now Taylor's in the 1-and-1 with 3:46 left to go here in the second half. So G. Johnson and Caden Johnson. We have not seen Michael Johnson, the third of the Johnsons, for Goshen, who was stellar a season ago for the Leafs. No counting this time on the 1-and-1. And Hubbard gets the 20 points. We'll see if Bibby, who appeared to be the one that was counting earlier, all quiet like it's at a Taylor practice on a Thursday. And Hubbard makes them both. 21 for him. All 7 of his points have come from the line, and more importantly, Taylor's lead up to 6 at 57-51. 3:40 left to go in this one. Hubbard tonight, by the way, 9 of 10 from the line. Right to Cade Johnson, who fakes the handoff as he dribbles to the near side. Simfukwe off the handoff. Faked right, went left, went down the lane. Webb blocked the shot, but Hubbard might have been called for the hip check in midair. It is on Jason, and that's his 4th with 3:28 on the second half clock. And number 10 on Taylor, and so that puts Goshen into the double bonus. To the line goes Judah Simfukwe, who's 2 of 2 from the line tonight. And again, we have not seen Elias Ramirez in over 10 minutes. Simfukwe hits the front rim and gets the bounce off the glass. He takes over the team lead in points from Ramirez, who looks healthy and fine across from us, but he has not been heard from at all after scoring the first 7 points of the night. Webb has it poked out of bounds off of Caden Johnson. Taylor looks to have might have gotten away with one there, as Webb had inside position on the freshman center. So the best that Simfukwe could do was draw his team, Goshen, to within 5. Taylor in white from right to left. Goshen defends man-to-man in purple. Webb, high right side, spins and faces the basket. Far sideline, Lewis. Yoon comes free off an off-ball screen. Open 3, cash for Gavin Yoon. 15 for Yoon, his 3rd 3 of the night, and the Trojan lead is 8. 2 off of their biggest lead of the evening, but answering on the other end is a 3 for Caleb Wright. 36% is the headbanded one for GC, and the Maple Leafs take a timeout. After Taylor's lead was 8, it's right back down to 5, make it a 30-second stoppage with 2:56 left to go here.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Two minutes, 56 seconds remaining here in our second half. Taylor's lead is 5, 60-55. After Yoon of Taylor and Wright of Goshen just traded 3-point baskets. We're coming out of the Goshen 30-second timeout. Taylor attacks the basket to our left, and the clock is their friend right here. Webb, perimeter left. Fakes the handoff to Furman, high right side, Hubbard. Top of the key 3 as this man went under the screen, and Hubbard made him pay. first field goal of the second half for Hubbard. He's got 24 to lead the game, and the Trojan lead right back to 8. Back to the hands of Wright, who just hit a 3 the last time down the floor for Goshen. Runs Lewis into the K. Johnson screen, got to the baseline left, now on the right block. He's caught underneath the hoop, gives it off in the tight quarters to Johnson, knocked away. Hubbard has it, and then tackling Hubbard and spinning him out of bounds will be Caleb Wright. They'll say it's off of Wright, who as he and Hubbard both touched the ball. It was Wright who had his back on the baseline. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to go here. Taylor leading 63-55. The 8 points matches their biggest lead of the second half after leading by 10 with about a minute to go in the first. Stopping and starting, Hubbard against Miller. Taylor, knowing the clock is their buddy right now, wasting as much time as possible. Less than 2 minutes to go here. Mid-post right, Webb turns and faces the basket, blows right by Caden Johnson. Bunch of head fakes, leans back, no good. One-handed rebound, Hubbard throws it up to the rim. It was an air ball, but he was fouled on the shot attempt. That's on Caleb Wright, his first, and the 8th one against Goshen. A 2-shot trip to the line here for Hubbard. The 3-point basket earlier was his first field goal of the second half. Moved into second place in Taylor's all-time scoring list with his 14 first-half points. And the first one good. 25 for Hubbard. And for the first time since early on in the second half, Elias Ramirez has come back in for Goshen, replacing Isaac Miller. One of the officials down below us now counting to make sure Hubbard does not take too much time at the free throw line. And that one missed, dancing off the rim. Jason now 10 of 12, and a timeout taken by Goshen as Caleb Wright accelerated to the front court. They've got a 30-2 fulls. It's going to be a, drum roll please, a full timeout for Goshen. 1:42 remaining here. It's 64-55 Taylor. Goshen with the ball when we come back here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Goshen with the ball in the front court. Elias Ramirez along with Judas Mfukwe, Greg Johnson the second, Caleb Wright, and Caden Johnson with the ball. 100 seconds remaining in the second half. Goshen has it down by 9. Mfukwe near side. Not a lot of urgency here from Goshen, down by multiple possessions. Open, Greg Johnson the second drives, back tapped out of his hands. It'll stay here with Goshen, but they are wasting precious time here, down by 9. Isaac Miller enters for the Maple Leafs, replacing Elias Ramirez, their top scorer at 16 points per game, has just 12 and only 2. Here in the second half, he's only taken 2 shots, has barely played since the first half. Mfukwe lobs it in. Webb was too far away to make a stab at it, but Lewis is going to come in, rips it right out of the hands of Caleb Wright to the other end. Layup, goaltend, and Lewis is getting 2 points. Webb wanted to go for the steal, and then Lewis said, "Don't worry, I got you, big fella." Ripped it right out of the mitts of Caleb Wright. And Taylor has their first 11-point lead of the night. 80 seconds left. Taylor's almost put this one to bed. Wright dribbling. Lewis almost poked the pocket again. Right, left hand, left side of the lane. Hubbard now jabbing at it. Into the paint. Simfukwe knocked out of the hands by Furman. Sloppy passing the backcourt. Lewis gets it, running through multiple men. A lob up, and then Furman tapped it over to Hubbard, who dunked it. That'll put the icing on the cake tonight as Goshen takes a timeout, trailing by 13 with 52 seconds left. Back-to-back thieveries from Lewis lead to the highlight dunk. Lewis, Furman to Hubbard for 2.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Congratulations to Jody Martinez's women's basketball team. They defeat Goshen tonight, 64-59. They're on the road with the men's basketball team Saturday for a doubleheader in Fort Wayne at St. Francis. Then we get to see the women's basketball team for the first time in over a month here against Mount Vernon Nazarene a week from tonight. Ramirez to get it in for Goshen, down 13 with 50 seconds left. And again, Maple Leafs taking a lot of time here, down by double digits. Furman, he and Greg Johnson II have been exchanging pleasantries throughout the evening. And this time Furman gets the foul on the attack to the rim. Greg Johnson II tonight, 10 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 5 in each half. Also has 5 rebounds. First of 2, swish. One more to come for him. Isaac Miller re-enters, replacing Ramirez, the defensive sub in for GC. Nate Parlberg in for Taylor, replacing Furman, who's got 11 points on 3 of 9 shooting. The 27th tonight for Jason Hubbard. Had 14 in the first half as Johnson II makes his second free throw. 12 for him. Goshen trailing by 11, 68-57. Lewis is fouled in the backcourt with 43 seconds left to play here. Lewis 2 of 5 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 points. Jay Lou 6 of 11 from the line here in his sophomore season. The front end of a 1-and-1. Front rim off. Webb trying to tap it to himself. Tried to throw it off of Wright, but as he did, it went off of Webb in about the same fluid motion. Tough break there for Taylor. Their lead is still 11. And again, Goshen taking their sweet time here, down by double figures with 40 seconds left. Johnson II to run the point. Goes right down, pulls up from the mid-range right side, skips off the rim, taps it over to Caden Johnson, who hits a left-handed reverse layup. 6 for Caden Johnson. Hubbard fouled in the backcourt by Simfukwe. That's the 10th one on Goshen, number 2 on Simfukwe. And Hubbard will have an opportunity to push Taylor's lead back up to double figures. They lead by 9 to the Trojans with 29 and 7/10 of a second left to go from the finish line here. Hubbard 10 of 12 from the line tonight, has made just 2 second-half field goals, a three-pointer, and an alley-oop dunk from Furman. First one good from Jason. He's got 28 points. As Taylor has held Goshen over 13 points below their season average, or 23 points below their season average, or it's 13 points below their season average tonight. 29 for Hubbard as he makes both. He's 12 of 14 from the line. Taylor's lead is 11 at 70-59. Shot clock turned off. Ramirez tight ropes the baseline. Parlberg gets it. Johnson the second slaps him on the forearm from behind, and Parlberg will make the long walk to the other end in search of his first points of the night. First collegiate start for the Franklin, Ohio native with 19 2/10 of a second left here in half number 2. Goshen came in averaging 73 points per game. They are 14 below that tonight. First one short from Parlberg with one more to come. Taylor a point away from matching their season average, and Parlberg on cue gets Taylor to 71. 12-point Taylor lead. Shot clock turned off with 17 seconds left. Simfukwe trying to one-hand bounce it into Kate Johnson. Cannot. Goes up top to Johnson the second. Head fake, off balance three, air ball. Lewis there for the rebound. His fifth one of the night. He'll dribble out the final 5 seconds, and Taylor starts off 20-23 on the right foot, defeating Goshen tonight by a final of 71-59. The Trojans move to 9-7 on the year, 3-3 in Crossroads League play. Goshen falls to 2-13 and 0-5 inside Crossroads League play. We'll take a break and come back with a fun Ivanhoe's post-game show next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH, from our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
'94 to '98, and it was a very transformational time for me and my wife that went to Taylor as well. And for us, Taylor, I kind of look at Taylor as a place you go, not to go get a job after 4 years, but it really is like a 40-year preparation of your life. And I tell my Taylor stories all the time, to the point where my employees are probably sick of it. I kind of look at the basketball team and I look at Josh and I think he's the right guy, and I like to support the right guy. I think the core of what they have is really good. Josh has been developing men, and I think that's really important at a school like a Taylor, to think of it as winning basketball games and competing at a high level, but also developing people so that they can go on to the world and make things happen. I look at the student experience at Taylor right now. It's as high as it's ever been. It's off the charts. And so when I think about prospective kids and the kids that we have, I look at it and say, you can't beat a good program with a really good school.
UBS is the official sponsor of Taylor University men's basketball. Hello, world. Rick Johnston, the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. You like it when I do that, don't you?
It's good, man.
I mean, we're on YouTube. We're all over the world. Anyone you say hi to? I know I forget to do this all the time. I'm do it with the players. What about you? You have just thousands of fans.
I don't, but I've got a couple good ones. Probably Mom and my wife. Maybe Ava.
Those are very good.
Had a dance commitment tonight, but hello, everybody. And thank you to all the folks who support us and watch and are invested in care. So we're very grateful.
Does Ava get her dancing from you, or is that from Mom?
It's from Mom, yeah. It's from Mom.
That's good.
Yep.
Let's talk about your team tonight. You go up, you lead by 8 at the half. They make a nice push there midway through the second. And then kind of similar to what happened to them at St. Xavier, they put St. X to the line 20 times in the second half. You guys go to the line 17 times tonight, make 12 of them in the second half, and come away with your third Crossroads League win of the year.
Yeah, it's hard to complain when you're in league because every win is a good win, and I know that they had 2 wins on the season, but you and I talked prior. They're super dangerous when they're going. They're really fun to watch. They shoot it. They've got length at the rim. Their guards are skilled, and they can play downhill. I thought for a lot of the game they kind of played the bully. They went at us. They put their shoulder in our chest. They got through us. And, of course, I don't like that, but we've got to do some response there. We've got to get better. But I was impressed that we stayed with it. I thought our finish was really good. So it was a very mature and disciplined finish, and we needed that to kind of close the door late in the game.
Let's talk about the man that makes headlines, it seems like, every time he steps on the floor. Jason Hubbard had 55 points, which is 8 fewer than the school record over Christmas break. He needed 14 points to pass some guy named Casey Coons for second place on the all-time scoring charts, and he gets that on the nose in the first half. He finishes with 29. He only had a couple of field goals in the second half, but they're pretty big. A big three-point basket, then whatever that volleyball set was on the alley-oop from Furman. But what's it like to coach a guy like him when you got to coach with a guy like Casey Coons?
Yeah, no, you're talking about elite players at that point, really elite players. Obviously, Casey Coons, which is a magnificent leader and player and a tremendous coach and a good friend of mine. But Jason, you know, whether it's 5 years or not, he just has gotten better and better, and that's what's really a blessing to see. And he's grown in every area. And I obviously appreciate his efficiency tonight. He's done that for the most part this last month. Been very efficient. And he's got areas of his game, as I'm always saying about him, he can continue to grow and develop, and he knows that, and he's working on it. But, man, he does a lot of good things, and he'll continue as he keeps his humility. I see other guys, you know, and some of that's on the staff, and we know it. We're trying to figure out our rhythm and how to get – we think there's a better version still coming of this group, and they want it. That's the thing. They're fun to coach that way. So Jay helps lead that, but as the guys around him are, you know, knocking down shots like they're capable and playing to their level, I keep saying that, but we could have a great stretch here.
He was 10 of 12 from the line in the second half. Another guy that had a really big bounce-back game was Gavin Yoon. Did not attempt a shot in 9 minutes of action last week against Olivet Nazarene. Tonight, 30 minutes off the bench, 15 points, 6 of 9 shooting, had 10 in the first half, and made, I believe, his first 4 shots on the floor.
Sure.
He seemed to be really cooking there in the first half.
Yeah, very, very grateful, very proud of that. We very much needed it. And we praised him in the locker room after the game. I was more impressed with his defense on Ramirez when he came in the game. We started out seemingly casual, and I don't know, they may have been great contests. A lot of times the film helps us there, but we wanted to be in his shorts. He is an elite jump shooter. And I thought for a nice long stretch in the first half, Gavin helped stymie that with how he chased him and fought him. And so I was more impressed with the defensive side of the ball. Chasing the glass and finishing plays, a little bit of a bugaboo for us right now. But Gavin's ability to come in and get stops and, of course, making some shots is big for our team. So we're happy for him and glad to get that push.
Also, you threw Caden Furman at Ramirez as well. He played just 9 minutes in the second half. He scored their first 7 or 10 points for the game, and he made his first 2 threes, well, then he missed his last 5 in a row. What was it like to watch Furman and Yoon trade off there and really keep Ramirez off balance tonight?
No, it was good, and I think in this league, maybe I heard you wrong with some of the other Crossroads League scores. You start getting to this time of year, you see a lot less of the 95, 89 type scores. I mean, we know each other. They knew all our sets tonight. They're calling action. They had a good plan for how they were attacking our power game. They fought our handoffs. They did a lot of good things defensively, and I thought, you know, their team is up and coming and doing a lot of good things. So we, for us, so much of a you know, I call it humility, but just an appreciation for whatever it takes to win and keep finding different ways to improve, even in game. And I think the best teams I've coached and been around have an ability to adapt in game. It seems like we did that. It may have taken a full 40 minutes tonight, but we did that tonight.
You guys scored 21 points off their 18 turnovers. You only gave it away 15 times tonight. What does it say for you guys to be able to both slow it down and work it inside, work it outside, but also you guys got a couple guys, particularly in Lewis and Kinsey, that can push the ball off the floor. Then you guys that can fly on the wing with Webb and Hubbard and Furman and Yoon and the rest of the crew.
Yeah, and and again, coming back to Crossroads League, guys, I thought we had some guys play a little tight tonight. We want to be able to advance it up the floor and either get a pitch ahead or get that hard ball reversal. And if that's a rhythm 3, you may not get a better shot than that in that, possession. And we got some guys we know can shoot it. We have not shot it to our capability, and I'm not frustrated over 37%. That's really good for our team right now. But we think that can click, and so we'd love to play with pace. But I appreciate that you said that in this league and for our team, we have to have a versatility. We need to be able to win no matter what the score is, if it's defensively or in the half court or just pure execution. It seems like this game had a little bit of everything there.
Another guy that might not wow a lot of people if you want to look at the points column would be Jackson Lewis. He was a real pest, and I mean that in the best way possible. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and, oh, by the way, just 1 turnover, and he had a big steal late that pretty much iced it.
He had a big steal late. He had a huge 3 in the corner in front of our bench.
Yep.
It was a monster 3 when the game was really tight, and we were lacking some energy and probably had a little doubt, and they were flowing a little bit, so I was very proud of that. He came back, and I think that may have been after having missed his first 3 shots. Some of the mental hurdles we're overcoming in a lot of guys really as a team, and just having confidence and having a short memory and next best action. These are phrases we're always talking, and to see the guys have some resilience there was a good thing, and I'm happy for them and very proud of them.
If memory serves right, you guys were leading by 1 after a couple of free throws from Goshen at 49-48. He hit the 3. You guys go back up by 4, and maybe only one other time the rest of the night I think your lead got cut down to 1. You guys have been the beneficiaries of a good amount of home games here. You're going to go on the road Saturday to St. Francis, a place that you guys have come so close to getting a win at. What's it going to take to come away on the right side of the scoreboard in a few days up at Fort Wayne on Saturday?
Well, we got to clean some things up. We're going to have to play more efficient. We're going to have to play with a little bit more chemistry and flow, and we didn't have the answers for that tonight. Just some mental, just some things we got to work through. But if we have some fight down the stretch the way we fought, we're physical, we chased the glass, we got some really nice rebounds on the defensive end to finish plays. And if we can do that, we're going to have a chance in a lot of games. And we have great respect for St. Francis and their club, so we'll have to play really good basketball.
It'll be a fun one on Saturday. Congratulations. Best of luck.
Yep. Thank you, Rick.
That's head coach Josh Andrews. We're back to wrap it up next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
'94-'98, and it was a very transformational time for me and my wife. That went to Taylor as well, and for us, Taylor, I kind of look at Taylor as a place you go, not to go get a job after 4 years, but it really is like a 40-year preparation of your life. And I tell my Taylor stories all the time, to the point where my employees are probably sick of it. I kind of look at the basketball team and I look at Josh and I think he's the right guy, and I like to support the right guy. I think the core of what they have is really good. Josh has been developing men, and I think that's really important at a school like a Taylor, to think of it as winning basketball games and competing at a high level, but also developing people so that they can go on to the world and make things happen. I look at the student experience at Taylor right now. It's as high as it's ever been. It's off the charts. And so when I think about prospective kids and the kids that we have, I look at it and say, you can't beat a good program with a really good school.
UBS is the official sponsor of Taylor University men's basketball.
Back for the final time here inside Odell Arena as Taylor comes away with a 71-59 victory tonight over Goshen. The Trojans move to 9-7 overall, 3-3 in Crossroads League play, 5-5 here inside Odell Arena. Goshen falls to 2-13. They are now 0-5 in league action. Jason Hubbard scored 14 points in the first half. That moved him into second place all-time in Taylor's all-time scoring list, passing the great Casey Coons. He finished with 29 points tonight, including 15 in the second half. 15 for Gavin Yoon, 10 in the first, 11 for Caden Furman to round out the double-figure scores for the Trojans tonight. 6 for Anton Webb, along with Hubbard, who had a team high and game high of 9 rebounds. Jackson Lewis filled up the stat sheet tonight. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and only 1 turnover
in 28 minutes of action tonight for the sophomore point guard. On the other side for Goshen, Elias Ramirez played just 9 minutes in the second half. Their leading scorer finished with 12. He had just 2 after halftime. 13 for Judas Mfukwe, the lead Goshenite in scoring. 12 for Greg Johnson II in 24 minutes off the bench. 6 for Caden Johnson, 6 for Caleb Wright, 5 for Clayton McLagan. 3 as well for Isaac Miller, 2 for Bibby, and 5, as we mentioned, for McLagan. Taylor shot 77% from the line tonight, 41% overall, 37% from 3. So take a quick look at the other scores from around the Crossroads League tonight. Indiana Wesleyan defeated Huntington 83-69. That's the first place team against the third place team. Mount Vernon Nazarene defeated St. Francis 77-68 on the road. And Marion lost on the road tonight at Grace 70-59, and Spring Arbor won at home 70-60. So your most up-to-date Crossroads League standings look like this. Indiana Wesleyan remains in first at 6-0. Grace remains in second at 5-1. Huntington falls to third at 4-2 as they came in tonight tied with Grace for second place. Then there's a three-way tie for fourth between Taylor, Marion, and Bethel. St. Francis with their loss falls to seventh. That's who Taylor plays on Saturday. Spring Arbor with their loss tonight, with their win, they improve to 2-4. They are now tied with St. Francis for seventh. Mount Vernon Nazarene stays in ninth. They are at 1-5, and Goshen is 0-5 on the season. So the men's basketball team on the road Saturday at St. Francis. They got to make the trip eastward to Mount Vernon Nazarene Wednesday before coming back here for a doubleheader with the women's team on Saturday against the 14th against Spring Arbor. We'll have Taylor women's basketball action coming up here next Wednesday night. Special thanks to our producer, Sarah Etchison, our camera operator, Enoch Eicher, for their hard work tonight. And we thank you folks for tuning in tonight as well. Once again, our final score, Taylor defeats Goshen by a final of 71-59 to move to 9-7 on the year, 3-3 in Crossroads League action. The Trojans are now tied for fourth in the league heading into their road game Saturday at St. Francis. This has been a presentation of Taylor men's basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. We'll talk to you next Wednesday for Taylor women's basketball action from here inside Odell Arena. Until then, we say goodnight from Upland, Indiana.
Proceeding has been a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network.